couple that are just minor subdivisions. We're gonna get those out of the way and then we'll come back to the top of the order. So let's move to CPB 22-10, which is 20-24 Branford Place. Ms. Carrillo Perez.
Good evening. Good evening, Jennifer Carrillo Perez of Common Foley on behalf of 20 Branford LLC.
Floor is yours.
Thank you. By letter dated July 10th, my office did submit a request to your board secretary requesting an extension of the approval CPB 22-10 for a period of 2 years. They secured the approvals in April of 2022. That resolution was memorialized later that month. They have submitted all of their compliance plans and did secure compliance approval fairly recently. They're working towards submission of permits. This is the first time they are seeking an extension of that approval. And so we are respectfully requesting the 2-year extension to allow for permits, financing, etc.
Thank you. Board, any questions or comments? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from the public?
Seeing none at this time, Chair.
In that case, I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Moved by Scott Roundtree, second by Commissioner Bynum. Roll call, Madam Secretary.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner Byers,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott Roundtree,
Yes.
Commissioner James,
Yes.
Commissioner Austin,
Yes.
Co-Chair Wisher,
Yes.
Chair Richardson.
Yes, your extension has been approved. Good luck.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Let's move to CPB 25-15, which was adjourned on June 23rd. This is Ms. Marsha Moore. Do we remember why it was adjourned?
I guess it was never put on record. I was adjourned.
Okay. All right, we'll ask the attorney. Let's get Ms. Moore on. There she is.
Chair. Good evening, Chair, members of the board. My name is Marsha Moore from the law firm of Post Pollock on behalf of the applicant Benasio Real Estate. This is an application as indicated. The property is located 18-20 Van Ness Avenue. It's block 3032, lot 13. And the applicant is seeking, as I mentioned, a minor subdivision to subdivide an existing 5,000 square foot lot into 2 conforming 2,500 square foot lots. The property is located in the C1 neighborhood commercial and residential zone. The proposed subdivision is conforming. We're not seeking any variances at this time, nor are we seeking any application for development. This is solely a minor subdivision application.
Ms. Moore, why was it adjourned from June 23rd?
There was a lot of chaos going on that day, so I felt it was best to adjourn it.
Chaos?
Yes.
There were a lot of opposition to a neighbor.
A previous application, another application.
Another
This
application.
So
That was right in the same
it's in the C1 zone. But this application is on Van Ness. I will note for the record that on that date, this is an application. Again, this is not for development, it's for minor subdivision that is fully conforming in the C1 zone, which would permit the applicant to subdivide the existing property.
Okay.
We do have, I believe, Madam Chair, do you see Mike Prenesti in the waiting room?
Thank you for the promotion, but I'm gonna get him on. No, I don't see. Maybe if he's just under Michael, if he could raise his hand. I don't want to raise someone from the public.
And John McDonough as well.
I don't see either of them.
Okay, maybe they're where they're gonna jump around so quickly. So I just want to note that the city surveyor has reviewed this application, the subdivision. That report had very minor comments on a change that Mr. Prenesti has made, and the applicant will agree to comply with any conditions referenced in the planner's report. One of the conditions is that there is no application for development at this time. one minor correction in that report. It did note that in the C1 zone, a single-family dwelling is permitted. It is not permitted in the C1 zone. The proposed subdivision as permitted is conforming, and as this board may well be aware, under case law Pizzo Mantine Group versus Township of Randolph, 137 NJ 216, if an applicant is providing a fully compliant subdivision, the board has no legal basis to deny that subdivision. So I just wanted to note that for the record, this is a minor subdivision, not a development application. I don't know where my surveyor is. He may be having some problems. There he is, Mike.
He's on Miss Moore.
Thank you. Mike, can you turn your screen on?
Can you hear me?
We hear you, but we don't see you.
I'm trying. I'm on an iPhone trying to figure all this out.
Mr. Moore, do we need to come back to you?
Can you see me now?
No.
The plans popped up.
The plans popped up, so I'm sharing the screen with the plans. Mike, can you see the plans?
I can't. I'm sorry. I'm on an iPhone. I'm off today. I'm just trying to figure all this out.
Okay. Up Chair, I can note. So again, this is an application for subdivision. The applicant it's an existing 5,000 square foot lot. We are seeking to subdivide that lot into 2,500 square feet. So the lot width would be 25 feet measured by 100, which would be fully conforming to the C1 requirements. There is no proposed development as part of this application tonight.
Okay. That completes your presentation.
Yes, it's a minor subdivision without variances.
Okay. You can stop sharing your screen. Board. Questions or comments? Here and now. Are there any questions or comments from the public?
Seeing none at this time.
In that case, I need a motion.
Don't understand.
Motion.
Moved by Commissioner Scott Roundtree. Is there a
Second.
Second by Commissioner James. Roll call, Madam Secretary.
Commissioner Bias,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott Roundtree,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
No.
Commissioner James,
Yes.
Commissioner Austin,
Yes.
Co-Chair Richard,
No.
Chair Richardson.
Yes. Application has been approved.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And then we're gonna move to item number 5 on the agenda, which is CPB 25-35, which is 525-527 South 19th Street. And Mr. Veloz, this is another subdivision.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, everyone. Noemia Velozi on the application CPB 25-35 for 525-527 South 19th Street. If you'll allow me to share my screen, I will show you we have a simple 50 by 100, and we're subdividing it into two 25 by 100s. Why can't I share? Oh, there it is. Okay. Bear with me 1 second. So what we have here is a 50 by 100 lot, and we're basically subdividing it into 225 by 100 lots.
That completes your presentation.
It does, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioners, any questions or comments about this subdivision?
I have a question.
Yes, Commissioner Jordan.
Is this, okay, it's just a minor subdivision. No, I'll reserve my, question. Sorry.
No worries. Co-Chair Witcher, you had a question?
Not trying to be telepathic, but I'm wondering if we're establishing an end around us reviewing some of the development that's coming to the city.
You're probably spot on. However, we can only vote on what's presented. So you may be spot on about what's happening, but there's nothing we can do about it.
A big boy.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Are there any questions or comments from the public?
Seeing one hand raised.
Okay.
A phone number ending in 038. I'm giving you access to speak. If you'd like to come off of mute. If you could come off of mute and be sworn in.
Hello?
Yes. Good evening.
Hi.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to
Kelly.
give before the board shall be truthful?
Yes, yes, I am. My name is Valerie Hayes at 88 Van Ness Place. I was trying to get unmuted for 18 Van Ness Place.
So unfortunately, that has already been dealt with. And it's just a minor subdivision with no development at this time.
That I do understand, but the thing was that, okay, but I did have some questions about, the thing is that it says it was adjourned from June 23rd.
Yeah,
That was not correct. And they did never put up a new sign about the new adjournment, why it was adjourned, and also they never put up a new sign on the lot.
So usually what happens,
She agreed to that. She agreed to that, I believe, in the minutes of the last of the meeting, the original meeting. It was never put up for the public.
I think what happened is, and what generally happens is, if there's something adjourned, a meeting something gets adjourned, it's said right on the record at that time when the next meeting is, when it'll be brought back.
Yeah, I do understand that. Thank you for that. But she agreed. Marsha Moore is her name. She agreed in the notes of that last meeting. She agreed she was going to have it posted. Someone, in fact, one of the commissioners asked her, "Would you?" And they said yes. She said yes. I mean, the tapes, and you can pull the tapes, and you can hear them saying that. That's why I was a little bit. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to get in on the original, because I wanted to bring that up. It was never reposted. The lot today still says May 19th.
Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it now. The subdivision has already been granted. So that's that.
And there's no public response to that. Because some people never got the notice.
It's just they only had the notice the one time for the initial meeting, and the notice was preserved for the following meeting. Once it was adjourned, the notice was preserved until today. So I mean, there's really nothing we can do. We can't go back. But when they get ready to build, then there's maybe recourse at that time.
Because that was okay. Because actually yes, you're okay. I understand what you're saying, but that was agreed to in the meeting, and that's something that that was agreed to. She's a lawyer. I'm sure the notes can be pulled. But the thing is that it's a C1. It's not a C1 zone. It was a C1 lot that was changed from an R1. It was spot zoning for this. This was not a transitional lot. That's what I said. So some other things have to be looked at, but I do appreciate your time. And
No.
that has to be,
Well-
both of those issues have to be looked at anyway. This is not, yes, a R1 lot now is a C1 lot. And the rest of the houses, you know, I don't know what's going on, and we have to try to, the residents on Van Ness Place have to, Shanley Avenue, we have to figure out what's going on, why our houses are being rezoned to C1, to commercial, like on Springfield Avenue. C1 is Springfield Avenue.
Yes, ma'am, but right now we're on a different application.
That's, I understand, I appreciate it, but I'm sorry I wasn't able to get in on earlier, but we'll have, yes, I understand.
Thank you so much.
Chair, we have another hand raised.
Okay, and this is on 325-327 South 19th Street.
525.
527, I'm sorry.
What?
Go ahead.
Maybe they put their hand? Okay, they put their hand down, so there's no more questions from the public.
All right, so in that case, I need a motion.
Moving the chair.
Moved by Commissioner Baez. There's a second. So this particular South 19th Street is not the same as Shanley and Van Ness, just so you know.
Mr.
What's the
Chairman,
difference?
this is a
Different-
fully
Go ahead.
conforming application, and there are 0 variances.
Mr. Chair, if I may, I can answer the
Go ahead,
co-chair's
Mr.
question.
Veloz.
Co-chair, this is a redevelopment zone, so it allows for new construction. Now, as the board is aware, my client would only be able to build a 2 or a 3 family without any variances in that zone, without coming back to these boards for an approval. So basically, we're just subdividing them into standard lots, which are now the norm in the city for both the construction of a 2 or a 3 family, but it's a redevelopment zone.
So
It's
let
not-
me, Mr. Veloz, allow me to answer Ms. Jordan's question. So Shanley and Van Ness are all one-family houses.
Thank you.
That's not the
For the
same
record.
over here. Right, that's not the same over here.
Got it. Thank you, sir.
So that's the difference.
Thank you, sir.
So is there a second?
Second, Commissioner James.
Second by Commissioner James. Roll call, Madam Secretary.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner Baez,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott Roundtree, Commissioner Scott Roundtree,
Absent.
Commissioner James,
Yes.
Commissioner Austin,
Yes.
Co-Chair Richard,
Yes.
Chair Richardson.
Yes. Application has been approved. Let's move to the next application. 529-531 South 19th Street, Mr. Veloz.
Again, good evening, everyone. Noemi Velozi on the application CPB 25-36. This is also, if I'll share my screen, in the redevelopment zone, and we are again requesting the subdivision to be from a 50 by 100 into 2 25s by 100. If you look over here, we have a 50, and we're doing 2 standard 25 by 100 feet lots. And that completes my presentation, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, sir.
What is the address down, Mr. Veloz, sorry, Mr. Chair?
The address? The first one was 525, 527 South 19th, and this one is next door. It's 529-531 South 19th.
Commissioners, any other questions or comments? Madam Secretary, any questions or comments?
Are these
Go ahead, Commissioner Jordan.
vacant lots?
They are, Commissioner Jordan.
Okay, so they're side by side, so it's 100 plot lot, essentially.
Well, there's 250 plot lots originally. That's correct.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Commissioners, any other questions or comments? Madam Secretary, any questions or comments from the public?
Seeing none at this time, Chair.
In that case, I need a motion.
I make a motion.
I second.
Moved by Commissioner Jordan, second by Scott Roundtree. Roll call, Madam Secretary.
Commissioner Baez,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott Roundtree,
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner James,
Yes.
Commissioner Austin,
Yes.
Co-Chair Richard,
Yes.
Chair Richardson.
Yes, your application has been approved. Have a good night.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Chair
Let's move-
Richardson, I
Yes,
didn't
ma'am.
hear the last,
The one before this one? You want
yes,
to
and-
be-
Can
You
we
wanna-
have
Yes, I want-
this later,
You're
Chair?
voting yes?
yes.
Okay. Duly
And
noted.
I
You
was-
got that, Madam Secretary?
Thank you.
Chair, can we discuss it later, please?
Yes.
Okay.
Beat me up, will you? Go ahead, let's go. I'm a kid from Newark, don't even try. Sorry, I'm sorry. Please.
All right.
First of all, can you see me? Because
We
I
can
can't
see
see
you now.
myself. I'm on my phone in the car.
Okay. Okay,
So,
Madam,
okay, that's
Commissioner,
it.
we gotta move on. Let's move to CPB 25-01, which is 348-370 Morris Avenue and 261 Bruce Street. Mr. Benjamin Wine.
Chair, can we also note for the record, I said Mr. Purdy, Commissioner Purdy is on.
Excellent.
Good evening, Chair, Commissioners Benjamin Wine of Prime 2 Bell and Maselli on behalf of the applicant 348 Morris Holdings LLC. First off, can everybody hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. It's good to be back before everybody this evening. The application before you this evening is a continuation from your June meeting. And like I said, good to see everybody again. If you recall, at that time, we went through our engineering and architectural testimony, and this board, quite correctly, to be honest with you, gave us some homework to come back with a much better architectural approach to the proposed development. Ultimately, what we're here proposing is a almost fully permitted, and I'll go through that again just for the record momentarily, 8-story mixed-use development consisting of 426 dwelling units, approximately 1,053 square feet of commercial and retail space, and 148 parking spaces. We are also proposing related site improvements, and consistent with your ordinance, one of the questions that was left out in the open, I believe it was Member Jordan who had answered, and I'm confident and comfortable to say I'd like to put on the record that we are obviously going to comply with the 20% affordable housing requirement, which is a significant number of affordable units in this development and for the city of Newark. Ultimately, we are, as I indicated before, an almost entirely conforming application. We have one variance, which was gone through by our civil engineer at the last meeting. And the variance, kind of somewhat uniquely, is actually for having too much of a side yard setback. As I indicated last time, we have either 11 or 12 side yards on this property based on the shape. And your requirement is to be at 0 feet for the side yards. And while we do have that at the street frontage, if we were to comply at 0 feet on every single side yard, we would have an application that would be over on coverage. So it is a little bit of a quirk related to the lot, which again, you'll hear our planning testimony this evening. I do want to indicate for the record that I have one witness with me that I intend to call, Mr. Seckler from Stonefield Engineering and Design. What Mr. Seckler is going to do for you this evening is he's going to walk through those revised renderings that were prepared. And again, I thank the board for the month. Some might call it a delay. I call it an opportunity. We really did take the comments under advisement. And we worked with Mr. Barry until I understand Mr. Barry is no longer with your board. So we transitioned over to working with Ms. Gruel to ensure that what we're ultimately presenting to you is an incredibly high quality building with high quality residential units and affordable units that will be completely invisible with respect to being different from the market rate units. So I'd like for Mr. Seckler to present those renderings to the board, and then I would have him walk through his planning testimony. So Chair, unless you have any questions of me, I'd like to have Mr. Seckler brought up.
Yeah, let's get him sworn in, Mr. Beck.
Good evening, Mr. Seckler. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give this board shall be truthful?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name and an affiliation to this application.
My name is Matthew Seckler. That's Seckler. I'm with Stonefield Engineering Design. Address is 92 Park Avenue in Rutherford, New Jersey. And I am the professional traffic engineer and professional planner for this application.
Matt, would you?
Go right ahead.
Hey,
I was just gonna voir dire Mr. Seckler. So Matt, if you can please give the board the benefit of your credentials and the status of your license in both of those areas of expertise to the board.
Yeah, I have a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering from Union College in Schenectady, New York. I have a Master's in City Regional Planning from Rutgers University. I'm both a licensed engineer and professional planner in the state. I've been accepted for this board and over 150 other boards in the state of New Jersey.
and your license is current and good standing,
Yes, they are.
and you're accepted by the board. Please continue.
Thank you, Chair. So Matt, go right ahead if you want to start by bringing up the revised architectural renderings.
Certainly. So I will pull up my screen here. And it's a series of 5 architectural renderings. I'll kind of walk the board through what we're looking at these renderings. But essentially what you see here is the building as it would be seen from Morris Avenue. So again, this is the long facade of Morris Avenue, including the retail space, the lobby. You can see that activated ground floor. And then the structure above. Again, remember there is parking, but the parking is within the building itself. It's actually the driveways all the way in the back right corner of this image. I'll talk about the building facade colors, but I want to highlight a couple of things. One is every single unit, both affordable unit and market rate unit, will have their own private outdoor space balcony. So you'll have your own private space, and you'll see later on, and you heard from the architect, there's also obviously common space as well within the building itself. But every single unit has their own outdoor common space. This image also wants to highlight the fact the building, the main facade, fiber cement panels. You could see the richness or the quality of the build in the image here in the bottom right. I do want to highlight in the next 2 pages, you'll see doubles of sheets 2 and 3 with a different coloring. This pattern is I'd say dark gray or black with a light gray pattern. I'll share later on a kind of tan gray version of this building. And again, the applicant has, if the board wishes to have one over the other, that's obviously something that we could work with. We want to kind of show the building with 2 different sets of color tones to let kind of the board decide. Just to orientate the board, with this image, we have Springfield Avenue is actually runs kind of along the top of the page. You can see the commercial developments along Springfield Avenue up near the top. As you go to the bottom of the page, this is 15th Avenue. You can see the 2 multi-story mixed-use building to the right side of this building, as well as the other multifamily building to the left of this facade, of this structure. But again, you could see the activated ground floor along Morris Avenue. What you can see from this image, which I think is really interesting, and you can really see the quality of the build, is the green roof, the outdoor amenity space, and the solar panels. So again, all those items that really enhance the building itself, providing for better stormwater and sustainability between the green roof and the solar panels, and then the activity center that is, besides having your own your own private outdoor space, we have this common outdoor space on the roof, as well as even trees up on the roof, providing an area for everyone in this building to kind of get away and enjoy the outside. What you can't see from this image, just because of the angle, there's also obviously ground floor outdoor space between the kind of legs of the building in here. But again, I think this is really, looking at the roof, you could see how this building, even the buildings next to us, which have solar panels, don't have the green roof that we are providing here on this structure. The next image, this is again kind of looking at it from more of the ground floor across the street from Morris Avenue. Again, you could see that gray and black tone of the building with those private outdoor areas and the nice vegetation landscaping around the building, including the street trees. The next image again is just like the one you previously saw with Springfield Avenue up to the top of the page, 15th Avenue down to the bottom. But again, here, as I highlighted or referenced earlier, the building just has more of a tan and gray look as opposed to the black and gray look. But definitely something that, again, the applicant is willing to have the building in kind of either shade, but we think this is a nice attractive look to the building, highlighting the quality of the structure. You could see the facade, the different areas around the retail and the lobby, the landscaping, as well as the way the balconies are kind of built into the structure itself. And then sheet 5, again, is a repeat of sheet 3. As it loads, again, just with the tan and gray facade as opposed to the kind of black or dark gray and gray facade. Again, same image that you saw before, just a different coloring scheme. So again, I think those are the images that we have for the architectural plan or the architectural renderings. Again, I wanted the board to really see how this is going to be a quality build, that has a mix of both the market rate and the affordable housing units inside. Again, quality materials. You can see lots of glass for all the units, the outdoor spaces, as well as the amenity space up on the roof.
And Matt, just before you jump on, just because you brought up the affordables, I just want to confirm for the record that again, the affordable units are indistinguishable from the market rate units and have access to the balconies as well as that common rooftop deck. Is that correct?
Common rooftop deck, private space, balconies, as well as any amenities in the building, again, are all part of the affordable package as well as the market rate package.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. You can go on.
From a planning perspective, again, what we're seeking before this board is essentially one variance, as Mr. Wine had referenced earlier. I'm just pulling up the site plan just to highlight the fact that we are seeking variance because we are required to have a 0-foot side yard setback. We have areas with greater than 0 feet. As you can see from the image here, and I'll kind of just trace around, I'll kind of highlight around, we have basically no side yard setback or compliant along Morris Avenue. So anyone walking along Morris Avenue, enjoying our new frontage, they will see a building basically along the entire street frontage, which is what the intention is of the ordinance. But as you kind of work yourself around the property, you see there's a lot of kind of nooks and crannies with this lot. This is not, your standard rectangular lot or square lot. There's a lot of different angles kind of built in here. And obviously the building isn't built to fit every single one of those kind of obtuse or acute angles around the building. So we do have areas where we have some side yard setback. In some areas along the front, you're at 11.4 feet, 8.8 feet. You kind of work yourself around the building where you're at 10 feet and 18.3 feet at its maximum back near the vacated Bruce Street in the rear of this building. Again, I don't see that being a detriment. In fact, it actually adds some more open space, a little more greenery around the building. So we're not basically pushing up against our neighbors with our 8-story permitted structure. We are, again, set back from our side neighbors by virtue of requesting this variance. So overall, I don't see there being a negative aspect to having additional open space or green space around the building and not building to our lot lines. And again, while it's not a exact C1 variance because it's not a full hardship. If we were to build out to every single lot line, we actually be over the lot coverage that's permitted. So we'd be seeking a different type of variance. And I think probably a variance that is a little more sensitive than this side yard setback, where again, I think we're actually providing a benefit by stepping the building back slightly from our nearest neighbors while still maintaining that continuous lot building frontage along Morris Avenue. But overall, besides this one variance, I do want to discuss, again, a lot of the benefits of this project. When I look at the master plan that was recently adopted by the city, I kind of keyed in on 3 main parts that the master plan was seeking to support. That is sustainability within the city, affordability within the city, and quality. So when I look at sustainability, affordability and quality. I think this development has all of those features. From sustainability, we have energy efficient building. We are near transit, within a quarter mile walk. There is the ability to get on, I believe it's 5 bus lines, which is which is what you want to have if you're building, this type of development or density. You don't want everyone who comes to your or live in your building to have to drive to work. Living in Newark, the benefit you do have is good mass transit availability, and having buses up and down Springfield Avenue along Fifth and as well as along 15th Avenue is a benefit. And again, that helps advance the goal of sustainability. In addition, this development is within existing neighborhood. There is the ability to walk to various restaurants, schools, shopping centers. All that is within walkable walk shed for this development. So again, about a quarter mile to a half a mile, you could get to all, a lot of your shopping that you would do on a daily basis or a weekly basis. And again, that is a benefit to this type of development, and again, helps advance the sustainability goals that are within the master plan. In terms of affordability, you did hear our council speak to the fact that we are meeting the city's affordable housing requirements at 20% in this building. And your master plan does talk about this being and trying to have this goal as a city of families. And this development does not shy away from the 2 and 3 bedroom units that your master plan calls out for. So again, besides having an affordability segment of this building, there is a number of units that are the larger units, the 2 and 3 family units, which again help promote affordability within the city. The last item that I would want to talk about was quality. And again, I think you saw from the renderings that you see up on the page, the quality of the building. There is significant green roof and open space. There's amenities within the building. The fact we have parking, and again, there is no requirement for parking for this building. We could build 400 some odd units with 0 parking spaces. But again, I think by trying to attract a quality tenant and having a quality building, we are providing parking. I believe it's 148 spaces within this building. And again, I think that does help advance the master plan goals that look towards quality development. So overall, again, I think that, when you look at the goals of the master plan, I think we actually meet them and we're consistent with them by promoting sustainability, affordability, and quality with this development. I don't see a substantial negative impact. Again, this development meets your city standards for height, density, the lot coverage. All those items are met with this development. We are meeting all the stormwater requirements with this development. So I don't believe there's any substantial negative impacts as it relates to this application. Again, applicants, developers, planners, we're required to follow the rules and regulations that the city outlines. The zoning ordinance for the city is hundreds of pages long with tons and tons of requirements. And out of those hundreds of pages and hundreds of requirements, what we're seeking is a variance for that side yard setback. That's the one thing we're looking for relief from this board as it relates to variance relief, is the fact that we actually have more of a side yard setback as opposed to a 0 and building our building right up on the side yard lot lines around us. So overall, I don't believe there's substantial negative impact with this application. And in terms of the goals of the MLUL or the municipal land use law, I believe they're advanced by this application. We believe that we're promoting purpose A, which is health, safety, general welfare, by increasing housing opportunities and beautifying this lot. Again, this has been a vacant lot for a number of years. And we do believe that health, safety, and welfare are being are getting a benefit from this application. We do believe we're advancing purpose C, which is providing adequate light, air, and open space. Again, this is an application that is compliant as it relates to building coverage. It's compliant as it relates to height. And in fact, I believe we have more open space than what would be required because we have our building set back from a number of the lot lines. We're also providing a substantial amount of amenity area. You saw the green roofs that we're providing. All of that, again, I think helps show that we provide adequate light, air, and open space. I do believe we're advancing purpose I, which is desirable visual environment. Again, this lot has not seen investment in a number of decades. And I think the building that we have here, whether the board decides they want to weigh in on the tan versus kind of black look, I think either image shows a high quality design and advancement from a visual environment perspective. And also, I believe we're advancing purpose N, which is promoting utilization of renewable energy resources between the solar panels and the green roof that you see on the image before you from the architectural rendering package. I believe we're advancing that goal of the municipal land use law as well. So overall, we are seeking a really de minimis and small variance as it relates to side yard setback. In exchange for that variance, I believe we're providing an application that advances the city's master plan goals as well as the municipal land use laws goals for development.
Thank you, Matt. Just one follow-up question. Would it be your opinion as a planner that that by actually providing, too much of a setback and not stretching the building to the property lines and thereby complying with coverage and not seeking that variance instead, that this is a better planning alternative?
Yeah, I do think it's a better planning alternative. And again, I think we're balancing here. We're making sure we're compliant along the Morris Ave frontage. Because again, you want the look when you're walking by, you have a continuous building. That's what the goal of the master plan and the ordinance is. But when you get into those nooks and crannies around the sides of the development, we kind of brush up against some of our nearby neighbors. I think it is a better alternative to kind of have our building kind of step back slightly from those nearest neighbors.
Okay, and then just lastly, other than that one area which you just spoke to, otherwise the development is entirely conforming with the C2 criteria. Is that correct?
That is correct. It's conforming as it relates to, building transparency, front yard setback, building height, building coverage, impervious coverage, all down the line.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. I have nothing further for Mr. Seckler at this point.
Commissioners, questions or comments?
Yeah, I have a couple.
Yeah. Commissioner
Council, how many shade trees are you proposing?
That is a question Mr. Seckler can answer.
Sure.
Hold on, let me pull it up.
While he looks for that information, Mr. One, if we could just mark the renderings as Exhibit 8-1.
Sure, and that would be a package of, I believe it was 5 images.
Yes, thank you.
Let me get you that shade tree number. It would be, I believe we have 8 on the plan, but we agreed we would add 1 more. So I think we'll end up with a total of 9.
Okay, so you don't have a tree variance because you are gonna essentially confirm with the 9.
Correct, yes. 8 shown on the plan, we agreed we would add 1.
Yeah, and remember, James, I don't recall if you were present last month, but that was one. It's a good point. It's a good pickup. That came up in Mr. Traficante's letter, I believe, and we did agree to conform and add that tree.
Got it. Okay. And my last question, in terms of the commercial, no, I'm sorry. In terms of the amenity space, is that accessible for all the residents, or is it anything that's privately, maintained by the property itself? Or I'm just trying to get a detail because I don't recall that. So
I'll field that one. That's just like the roof space being common, and the commercial space being common. It is fully available to all market rate and affordable residents.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Commissioners, any other questions or comments?
I do, Madam Chair.
Commissioner Biden.
Yeah, I'd just like to know, well, you're always laughing when I'm asking a question, which is great. I like it.
You know why I laugh? Because it sounds like you always say Madam Chair.
Well, my respect,
I'm
just
not a
respect.
madam. I'm not a madam. I'm a
Mr. Chair, okay.
There you go.
All right.
I'd
I'd just like to know how many 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments in the development.
Let me pull that up for my notes unless council gets there quicker.
I'm looking for it. It was somewhere on the plans. Okay. Yes, I have it. Commissioner Baez, that would be 243 studios, 104 1-bedrooms, 63 2-bedrooms, and 16 3-bedrooms. And I should note, I believe the testimony from the architect at the last meeting was that those 3 bedrooms are almost entirely, if not entirely, affordable units based on the COA requirements. So the biggest units, yeah, in other words, the biggest units would be majority affordable.
Okay, excellent. I was expecting some more, but thank you. Yes, we need those 3-bedroom apartment. Thank you very much.
Commissioners, any other questions or comments? Hearing none, does that complete your presentation?
Sure, Chair, and I would just respectfully request the right to respond to any comments and or sum up at the end.
Absolutely.
Chair, I have
Co-chair with you. You just muted yourself. There you go.
community is texting me already asking how do they apply for units.
That's a good problem to have. And I'll tell you what, it's a lot better look than it was previously. Now it looks like you really put some thought into this look.
It looks like some inclusion.
Yeah, there you go, Commissioner Purdy. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, Chair.
Madam Secretary, anybody from the public wishing to speak?
I see one.
Okay, let's get whoever it is sworn in. Mr. Beck.
Okay, where are we?
They just. It's Janice. There we go.
There we go. Good evening. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give this board shall be truthful?
I do.
Thank you. Please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Janice Relaford Pavilion Apartments. This is not a complaint or anything. I want to thank, the design looks much better. It looks like it can meet the fabric of the community. Not only that, I like the fact that I don't have to ask about trees. Thank you for, supplying, the extra tree. And the other thing is, I'm glad that you did go back and rethink and, come up with a nicer looking plan. And so with that being said, I am asking the board to approve this project.
Thank you so much. Madam Secretary, anybody else wishing to speak?
Seeing none at this time, Chair.
In that case, I need a motion.
Motion.
Second it?
Moved by Commissioner Jordan, second by Commissioner Baez. Roll call, Madam Secretary.
Commissioner Purdy,
Yes.
Commissioner Baez,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott Roundtree,
Absent.
Commissioner Jordan,
Yes.
Commissioner James,
Yes.
Commissioner Austin,
Yes.
Co-Chair Witcher.
Okay, can I see my
You said yes.
You're muted.
Commissioner Roundtree, you want to vote yes?
Hold.
Okay, got your yes.
So yes for Commissioner Scott Roundtree, yes for Co-Chair Witcher, Chair
Correct.
Witcher.
Yes. Application has been approved. Good luck.
Thank you,
Hey, let
everybody.
me ask you one question. How soon you guys looking to build?
You'll see a shovel in the ground 6 a.m. tomorrow. Ideally soon, but obviously this was the biggest step towards getting there. So thank you.
Understood. All right. Good luck with your project.
Thank you.
All right. Let's move back to CBB 25-38, 1489-1495 McCarter Highway. Ms. Marsha Moore.
My Lord. Oh, this phone.
She's back.
I'm back. Good afternoon, everyone. Chair, members of the board. My name is Marsha Moore from the law firm of Post Pollock on behalf of the applicant 1489-95 McCarter LLC. Before I commence, I just want to make sure that my entire team is in. I see my engineer, Jennifer Palermo, Madam Secretary,
Okay.
John McDonough,
And Lee Klein.
Lee Klein.
Okay. They should all be joining.
Okay, thank you. Okay. All right, so as mentioned, this property is located at 1489-1495 McCarter Highway. It's on a corner lot, and that's known as AKA 24-28 Oriental Street, identified as Block 566, Lot 1. The property is currently vacant and was previously utilized as a warehouse. We are seeking an adaptive reuse to convert that existing 3-story building to add 2 floors, 2 additional stories to create a 5-story building with 32 residential units along with parking. Tonight, we are seeking preliminary and final site plan as well as certain C variances pertaining to the facade, the step back, the parking, and some additional variances that our professionals will be discussing. Based on the review of the report, we are eliminating certain variances that pertain to the illumination, as well as compliance with the on-site trees. We were seeking a variance and no longer seeking that variance. And our planner and our engineer will be discussing the compliance with the engineering, with the lighting requirements. Before I begin, just some housekeeping. I'm in receipt of a number of reports. My first report is the engineer memorandum revised as of July 16th. We can comply as a condition of approval. However, we are seeking certain waivers referenced in that report. It's my understanding that Mr. Trafficante has no objection, and our engineer will be addressing the need for whether or not we need a letter of no interest. The site access Route 21, however, it's our understanding and our position that there is no access to Route 21, so a letter of no interest would not be applicable. However, we do have our traffic engineer as well as our civil engineer will be addressing that component. We're also in receipt of the parking evaluation letter, and we'll be discussing that. We did submit as part of this application a parking study. I'm also in receipt of the water and sewer memorandum this evening or this afternoon, and we can work with engineering as condition of approval. I have no objection to that report. And last but not least, I am in receipt of the planning staff report, July 3rd, 2025. Ms. Fuller asked us to elicit certain testimony with respect to the variances that we're seeking and some clarification with whether or not we can comply with like the bird friendly and the rooftop. And we will be discussing that throughout our application. So I have a number of witnesses. My first witness will be a civil engineer, Adnan Khan.
Good evening, Mr. Khan. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give this board shall be truthful?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Please state your name and affiliation to this application.
Adnan Khan, AWZ Engineering. I'm the project engineer for this project.
And Mr. Khan, I can't say, can you state your educational background and what license any you hold?
Sure, I have a bachelor's degree in civil engineering, master's in construction management from NJIT. I have testified in front of this board several times, testified in federal court, superior court, hundreds of boards throughout New Jersey.
Your license current, sir?
Yes, they are.
You're accepted by the board. Please continue.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Khan, you're familiar with this project, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and your office prepared civil drawings with respect to this application?
That is correct, yes.
If you can start with give us an orientation of the site and then drive into the civil testimony.
Sure. Let's see. Okay, as you have heard, the project is like, the address is 1489, 1495 McCarter Highway. It's at the intersection of Oriental Street and McCarter Highway. McCarter Highway in this section is actually the site is separated by McCarter Highway with a guardrail along the frontage of the property. And pretty much there, I think at some point there was a ramp or something entering into the McCarter, which has been closed since, and it's been blocked by the guardrail. So there is no direct access from the site onto McCarter Highway. We do have access from Oriental Street to the site. It's a corner lot. And again, it is zoned as RDV, which is Newark River Public Access Redevelopment Zone. It's which is a mixed-use residential, light industrial, retail uses that are allowed. What we are proposing is a mid-rise multifamily dwelling, which conforms to the zoning requirement. as far as the use is concerned. Currently there is a 3-story building, existing building, as you heard, and the proposal there is to add 2 additional floors and make it a 5-story building. There will be some variances, which again, they are listed, and of course, Mr. McDonough will go in detail on those variances. Some of them are pre-existing, and few of them, mostly transparency related, are proposed, and also a lot coverage variance that we are seeking. However, it has to be noted that the existing lot coverage is 88.21%, whereas 75% is allowed. We are reducing the lot coverage. However, it's still more than 75%. What we are proposing is just under 85%. As far as the parking, there is some difference of interpretation, but we acknowledge that since the applicant is proposing 32 units, there are 32 parking spaces required for the project, whereas 10 are proposed on site. This project also qualifies for EV charging stations, and the 2 EV charging stations are required, and the applicant is proposing 2 EV stations. And also per the requirement, we can take a credit for 1 space. So the requirement for the parking will go down from 32 to 31 spaces. However, we are proposing 10 spaces. Okay. So as far as the site plan is concerned, I'm looking at sheet C-02, which depicts the ground floor level ground floor plan. McCarter Highway is to the right of the plan, and Oriental Street is to the top. The access to the parking area will be from Oriental Street. There we have a 20-foot wide curb cut, which serves as both full service, like both ingress and egress, to the ground floor parking, or to the ground floor parking where we have 10 spaces, as mentioned before, including 2 EV spaces and a 1 van accessible handicap parking space. We are requesting some waivers, which in my opinion are for better. 20-foot aisle width is required for the drive aisle. We are proposing more than 20 feet. We are just under 22 feet or 21.58 in actuality, which is better, which gives more room for the car to circulate around the parking area. And again, we have a circulation plan, which I will go over to show, like from the parking spaces, the cars that will be parked there have easy accessibility or maneuvering from each parking space. We are also proposing mobility bike racks for the project. We complies with the micromobility requirements of the ordinance. We are also having proposing 6 shade trees along the 2 frontages we have on Oriental as well as McCarter. 3 shade trees are proposed along Oriental, and 3 shade trees are proposed along McCarter Highway. So we comply with the shade tree requirements. However, as Ms. Moore mentioned, that we were not proposing any on-site trees, but we have this green area to the rear of or to the side of the property that the applicant agrees that they will provide additional on-site shade trees in that area. So we will eliminate that waiver that was initially requested. There are certain other comments related to size of the parking spaces. We understand and we acknowledge that the Newark ordinance for the parking requires the corner parkings to be 9 feet wide and the interior parking to be 8.5 feet. We are proposing 8.46, which is shy of half an inch. And the reason for that is the existing columns. Since we are adding 2 more floors to the existing structure, the existing columns, the way they are located, that is triggering that waiver for 8.5 feet for those parking spaces. And that's the waiver we are seeking. However, in my opinion, that half an inch is not going to make a big difference as far as providing 8.5 feet versus 8.46 feet. Okay. We are also proposing all new utilities, which will be along Oriental and MacArthur, all like sewer, electric, gas, and stormwater. We did receive the comments from water and sewer today, and we reviewed it, and I don't see any problems or any issues addressing any of those comments. And as directed or as mentioned in those in that report, we will address those comments according to the water and sewer report.
Mr. Khan, before you proceed, I just want to go back to the parking on the mention of the waiver. You mentioned the parking space, but there was also a comment regarding exceeding the access drive aisle. The maximum is 20 feet and we're slightly above that. Can you just address that, whether or not we can comply, or we're still asking for that waiver?
Yeah, sure. And I think I did testify to, but yeah, 20 feet is required. We are proposing more than 20 feet. We are proposing 21.58. And as I mentioned earlier, I think it's better design to provide more because we have 90-degree parking. And the more the turnaround area for the cars are, and as you can see from, you will see from the vehicle circulation plan, it gives more area and more width for the cars coming in and out of those parking stalls. So we are still seeking that waiver, but in my opinion, it's for better layout and better design and safety of the car maneuvering within the parking area.
And to mitigate that, Mr. Trafficante, that they asked you to do a turnaround area, which we'll agree to comply. Is that correct?
Yeah, we can comply, but again, I will go over when I go over my circulation plan. I will show like we are complying. I mean, we are showing that the cars have enough room to maneuver. But again, if the Mr. Trafficante still wants that turnaround, we can provide a turnaround area in the area where we are showing some green to the side of the property. Okay. As I mentioned in my earlier testimony, even though we are reducing the impervious coverage from what currently exists, however, we are still over that 75%. And in order to mitigate that, we are proposing a stormwater pipe detention stormwater system, which will be designed and which is designed based on the Newark ordinance requirements. And it is designed under the pavement of the parking area. And all the utilities, as I mentioned, are all new utilities and will comply with those requirements per the utility report. We are also proposing lighting improvements. We have both ceiling mounted light fixtures in the parking area. We have some surface mounted or building mounted light fixture on the facade of the building. They are all LED type light fixtures, full cutoff, downward throw. And we meet the minimum requirements for the per the city ordinance on the lighting. Okay, and then this is our traffic circulation plan that I referred before. And again, we have this arrangement for coming in and out of each car from, each space, that how we have enough room, and that 21.58 aisle width is definitely helping us to make that turn, and the cars can make the turn without backing up onto the street, and they can just turn around within the parking area and coming in and out easily from each parking space. We have multiple views here, and each view basically depicts like different area of the parking floor where the cars can come in and out. And I believe that's I have as my direct testimony.
I do want to just draw your attention to the Department of Engineering memorandum dated July 16th, Mr. Trafficante. There are a couple of comments from Mr. Trafficante asking with respect to easements. Reference is made to page 3 regarding the fence, security gates that are encroaching into the right of way, whether or not we're going to remove those.
Yeah, those are basically the shutter entrances to the old building, and they will be all removed.
Okay. And then another item referenced in his engineer memorandum regarding the common property line, and which wall, there's a wall on the property line, whether or not that belongs to the applicant or the adjacent property.
Yeah, that wall belongs to the adjacent property, and as part of this development of this project, we are not touching that wall, and it's going to remain as is.
And he also mentioned some title overlap between our lot and the adjacent lot as well. Again, our position, that's a title issue and that will work. Does that impact the project? I'm referencing item number 8 in his engineering report.
No, it doesn't impact the project. And again, that will be resolved with the title search or later on, yes.
I believe that was the testimony. And again, we indicated respect to his memorandum. We can agree to comply with those conditions, except we believe that the letter of no interest is required. Is that correct?
Yeah, and again, exactly. And the reason I'm saying that is like, again, if you look at it, like this is McCarter Highway, which is the active roadway right here. And our site is basically blocked going in and out with this guardrail that runs along McCarter Highway. And then this street, or I would call it driveway, it ends, the pavement ends pretty much right here, where I would say this McCarter Highway service lane, I would call it, ends, and it narrows down, and pretty much it ends here. So there is no direct impact to DOT right of way or McCarter Highway, and that's why we think that we don't need a letter of no interest from DOT.
Okay. I have nothing further. See Mr. Trafficante raising his hand.
Yeah, let's get Mr. Trafficante sworn in, Mr. Beck.
Good evening, Mr. Trafficante. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give this board shall be truthful?
I do.
Just please briefly state your name and affiliation for the record.
My name is Charles Trafficante. I am a principal engineer working for the City of Newark Department of Engineering. I'm also a professional engineer. My license is active and in good standing with the state board.
You're accepted by the board. Please continue, sir.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Khan,
yes,
from the Department of Engineering's report to the board. All right, we did know the property does front McCarter Highway, and according to the survey, that belongs to NJDOT. So as much as you and your attorney may like it, don't you need at least a letter either of no interest or a letter of approval before you ask for that administrative requirement to be waived by this board?
I mean, it's my opinion based on my experience. Technically, there are no improvements proposed except for the planting of the shade trees. We can, if the board requires, we can definitely request a letter of no interest to DOT. But usually, yeah, that takes some time. So, but again, based on what I see, like there are no access, there is no occupancy permit that we need from DOT for any access from that side of the property. Our only access for the parking area is from Oriental Street. And again, there are no encroachments or right-of-way work except for the plantation of these trees that we are proposing.
Understood, but still, it fronts a state highway, just like if you weren't feeling it. All right, same situation. So before we just look to waive, again, I defer to the board on this, but my recommendation is at least get the letter of no interest, just so that they were at least contacted and made aware before they're just ignored. All right, but I defer to the board.
I will say that they were provided notice of this hearing as well.
Okay, well, good for them. But still, I think the matter needs to be pursued. Next question. Can you meet the minimum requirements for lighting, Mr. Khan? Keep in mind, in the riverfront redevelopment zone, 0.5 foot candles is not the minimum for entrances and exits. 1 foot candle is. Can you meet the minimum for minimum lighting in an access drive, as well as minimum lighting in pedestrian walkways as per the Newark's riverfront redevelopment plan?
We are meeting, like if you look at the screen now, like this is the 1 foot candle line here. So we have 1 foot candle along the public right of way. So we are meeting those requirements.
Well, I see 0.5, 0.73 in that access driveway.
Where my mouse
is 1.
It's right here. Like if you look at where I'm circling my mouse.
Yeah, I see where your mouse is. That's out in the street. I'm talking in the center of the access drive where you have 0.5, 0.73, and whatever that is to the left. So,
yeah, that's not a problem. Yeah, we can adjust the lighting height and we can address that. Yes.
Or increase the lighting.
Yeah.
Okay, and also your lighting plan showed a minimum 0.17 in the pedestrian walkway. Can you address that as well? Meet the minimum there
Yes.
as well? All right,
Yes, the lighting can be addressed, yes.
all right. And then last 2 points. How many shade trees are required to be planted in the public right of way? 6?
6, yes.
6, all right. I think you got one on Oriental Place that may obstruct the line of sight. That one, yeah. Is there any way you can move that around the corner to the side street?
Yes, we can. And let me just, we have a side triangle shown for the property. Like again, we are, but again, these trees will be limbed 7 feet. But that's something again we will look at it, and it can be relocated.
All right, and if needed, move the tree?
Yeah.
All right. And then I guess the last question I have is, you show a vehicle movement diagram. Is there any reason why you can't provide a backup turnaround area at the south end of that 21.95 at center access aisle? It'll make it a lot easier getting in and out of those last 2 spots. Since
We
you
can
have
add
the
that.
room.
Yeah, we can add that. We'll comply with that.
Otherwise, everything else you can comply with the exception of the variances for parking space width and the other one was, yeah, parking space width, which you requested. Yeah.
And exceeding the access aisle
The
maximum.
access aisle.
And also, according to section 8H, page 50 of the Newark Riverfront Public Access and Redevelopment Plan, a minimum clear sidewalk width of 12 feet shall be maintained at all times. Your site development plan shows sidewalk width into the public right of way for Oriental Street as narrow as 6.07 feet, and with the public right of way from McCarter Highway as narrow as 7.18 feet. Again.
Yeah, and that is the existing condition. Like, I mean, like we basically, we have 10 feet wherever we have. Basically, this is all concrete. If you look at it, like from curb to the property line, everything is concrete. The width from the curb to the, I would say, clears area to the building is 10.8. The 6 feet or 6.09 feet is to the tree pit.
All right.
So
that's a clear sidewalk width. The clear sidewalk width you got is 6.09 feet in Oriental and 7 something in McCarter. You don't meet the 12 clear feet. So that goes without saying.
Yeah, this we don't meet 12 feet, but this is the existing condition. Like, I mean, like there is an existing curb. So unless we replace or I mean, say move the curb, I mean, and again, that will be a DOT item, and then probably it will trigger the occupancy permit from DOT.
Well, I defer to the board planner, Susan. Does this, even though it's an existing condition, do they still need relief from the Riverfront redevelopment plan?
I think so, yes.
You're muted.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, they still do need relief for that.
All right, so understood, right? So you're gonna have to request a variance, design waiver for that, either a variance or design waiver, whichever it is, but you need relief. All right.
We'll ask for the relief, and just for the record, we're referencing number 4, item number 21 in your report, Mr. Traficante.
On page 5.
On page 5, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Number 21.
Yes. Otherwise, you can comply with all the other comments?
Yes.
Mr. Khan?
Yes.
Okay. No further questions. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, as a matter of housekeeping, can I swear in Ms. Gruhl in the event that there's further testimony? Good evening, Ms. Gruhl. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be truthful?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Please state your name and affiliation to this.
Sure. Susan Gruhl with Higher Gruhl and Associates, the planning consultant to the board, and I am a licensed planner with good standing with my license. Thank you. And if Mr. Chairman, if you don't mind, since we seem to be on lighting, I just want to wrap that a bit. There seems to be a variance as well, having to do with the illumination of off-street surface parking. It's more than, they're proposing more than 3-foot candles, and the ordinance calls for 1-foot candle to 3-foot candles. I just raised that as another aspect to lighting.
I believe
Ms. Brewer,
in speaking with my professor, Mr. Khan can confirm that is that we would comply with the lighting, that we would not be seeking relief, but even in the excess, but Mr. Khan can address that. That was my understanding.
Thank you, Ms. Moore.
yeah, I think it should not be a problem, but just to clarify, like, Ms. Gruhl, like you're talking about inside the building?
What, yes. I am.
Like
Yeah,
those ceiling mounted, right?
I am,
Ceiling mounted
yes.
fixtures, yeah. I mean, we have to understand, like, any illumination under the fixture, it cannot be unless it's going to be a very light type, very low intensity light. You will always see the light intensities under the fixture higher than basically what is required, like say 3-foot candle. But as you go away from the light fixture, the effect gets a little bit lighter. So if we meet this 3-foot candle right here, it will make the other parts of the parking area much lighter. So as long as the board understands that.
And I would just note that that requires a variance. That's all.
Okay.
There may be a basis, as you're talking about, that for a variance, but I'm just noting that since we were on illumination and lighting.
Understood.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. I see Commissioner Byers, you have your hand up, sir?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, thank you. I'd just like to have a comment and 2 quick questions. First of all, I'm very proud that something is coming to that little side right there, because for the last 45 years that I've been going back and forth, going around this area, it's very dirty, and it was people usually dumping garbage in there. I believe it now they use it to park in truck. Okay, my 2 questions is, first of all, did you have any exit and coming from Makara Highway into the building?
No.
No, okay.
No, I mean, no car access. We have some doors facing on McCarter, and you will see that on the architecture plan.
So
But
nothing,
no car, no passenger car, or no vehicle access from McCarter.
so nothing coming and out from the building to Makara Highway?
Correct.
Okay, second question, so idea that I have, I believe in about fence. It's a very dangerous little hill there coming out to Makara Highway. I believe you guys having fence going around to Makara Highway for the safety of the children in there, did you?
We are not proposing any fence. We are basically grading the site as such, like, so that we have let me just show you, like, basically a consistent slope. But the slope is in the rear of where we're going to plant some trees there now. So that will become like more like a buffer area by planting some trees in that area.
I'm agree with you, but I strong believe, and I please asking my colleague to understand that little project right there, if it's any key go down, rolling down, it's gonna end up in the Makara Highway. So I would love to recommend having a fence around Makara Highway if the board is concerned of it.
Okay.
No, I'm Commissioner Baez. I'm very familiar with that area. I grew up around the corner at 42 Mount Pleasant Avenue many years ago, and I still go down there sometime. I have family who still lives in North Newark, and that site is a mess. So I don't know how long your client have owned it, but it's dirty, filthy, nasty, regular basis. So the first thing they need to do is clean it up.
Right. I'm agreeing. And that fence here, I believe that needs to go around when they building that building around
They
Makara
put a
Highway.
guardrail there, but if there are kids gonna be in this building and that little section that's blocked off to traffic, it doesn't stop any children from
no.
going across that little barrier. It's not anything that'll keep them safe. So yeah, I agree with you, Commissioner Baez, that there needs to be some kind of buffer, a better buffer than just a guardrail, separating, the building and McCarter Highway.
Please, yes, I'm agreeing, I'm 100% agree that we should have something for the kid not to go to that side. Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Engineer.
Just a clarification. So if I understand correctly, the comment, you would like to see a fence along the frontage of the McCarter Highway and wrapping up to the side?
That is correct, Mr. Khan.
All right. So a fence. Okay, that is again subject to now that requires a DOT occupancy permit, and it is subject to DOT. Like if the DOT would like us to install a fence or not, because this is technically going to be DOT right away.
Wow.
Because if you are going to block this whole area, the applicant can agree to provide something, but it's all subject to DOT's approval.
So that wasn't always blocked off. There used to be access to the highway. I don't know
Correct.
exactly how long it's been.
There was, Madam Chair, there was access to the high parkway right there back in the days, about 30 years ago, yes.
So who put the barrier up? That's DOT?
The guardrail, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, that's definitely DOT, yes.
Well,
right.
I still think it's very dangerous without having some kind of fencing or some kind of barrier up for kids.
I believe in that too, Chair.
Something needs to go there. So you have to get approval from the DOT. That's what you're gonna need to do. Because
Okay.
I'm gonna
Yeah, but as long as the board understands, like, we can propose a fence, but it's subject to DOT if they would make us install a fence, or they will come back and say, no, we don't need any fence in that area. So that's all subject to their approval.
So I hear you, is subject to their approval, but that makes your this presentation, and it makes your development risky, life-threatening, risky type of development without it. So if it's based on the DOT, then I can't support this application without it.
I agree,
Because
Chair.
it's very dangerous.
Chair, so I just want to make sure that we're all, I'm understanding. So you're indicating, will the board agree that we would get the approval from DOT? And if we cannot, then the applicant understands that they would have to revisit or come back to the board. Is that what I just want to make sure that we're on the same page.
Well, I just would like to let you know about that something had to be built up there for the safety of the children. I'm sorry, but it had to be.
So that's pretty much what I'm recommending. If you can't get approval to put a fence up, a barrier to protect the children who'll be playing, I'm sure it'll become a private little area, but it won't be so private with just a guardrail. So I think that, yeah, if you can't get approval from DEP, then yeah, you're gonna have to come back and make some adjustments and maybe figure something out. Maybe it's only good for a warehouse, because that's all it's ever been.
Chair, we do have other witnesses, including our traffic engineer, that will be providing some testimony, so we would like to address that issue, but I'm just confirming with my client to see if that could be a
The
condition.
traffic engineer is gonna tell us that everything is wonderful. We already know what that looks like. But go ahead, we'll listen. Next witness.
Thank you very much.
At this time, I'd like to call our architect, Jennifer Palermo.
Good evening, Ms. Palermo. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give this board shall be truthful?
I do.
Thank you. Please state your name and affiliation to this application.
Jennifer Palermo. I'm principal of Palermo Edwards Architecture. And we prepared the plans, architectural plans for this project.
And your license is current.
Yes, sir.
You're accepted by the board. Please continue.
Thank you.
Palermo, if you can share your screen and walk us through the architectural design of this application.
Certainly. So, as was previously stated, we have an existing 3-story warehouse, brick warehouse type building that is currently on the site. We are proposing to adaptively reuse that building.
Laura?
Hello?
You can continue. I think somebody said something.
Oh,
You can
sorry.
continue. Sorry.
So we are proposing to adaptively reuse the building. On our ground floor, we are proposing 10 parking spaces with an access off of the side street, not McCarter Highway. It is Oriental, I'm sorry. We have entrance from the garage. We have a dedicated trash room and a sprinkler room off of the one side of the parking area. On the right side, we have stackable washer and dryers for common laundry facilities. We also have a small bike parking area and a residential lobby area. On our second and third floor, which would be within the confines of the existing brick building, we are proposing 8 units, a mix of 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms. We have 2 stairs. All of our units are handicap accessible and handicap adaptable, which is required by the New Jersey Code. And then the 2 floors that we are adding to the top of the building are essentially identical to the floors below with the 8 units as previously stated. On our roof, right now we show our compressors for our individual air conditioning units. We are adding to this roof a public roof deck area that will occupy the space in between these condensers and be accessed by an elevator and the stair. I should speak to a bird-friendly design. We have our elevations are obviously the first 3 floors are the existing brick. Our top 2 floors will be cement panels with new windows. We are proposing to put bird-friendly film on our glass to prevent the birds from flying into the building. We have our side facing McCarter Highway. These openings here on the brick portion of the building are very in line with the existing punched openings that are there. I think we've removed a couple. We have the stair running down here, so we're not allowed to have windows in the stair. This is our rear facade. And this is the facade that faces the adjacent building up Oriental Street. We are very close to the 3 feet mark for allowing windows. So the building code does not allow us to have a great number of windows on this particular facade. As part of the construction, we are proposing green building enhancements. We will be providing low flow toilets and plumbing fixtures. We will be using low VOC and non-toxic materials on the interior. We'll be using energy efficient windows and insulation. Our windows will be double glazed, low E coating and argon filled. Our insulation will meet or exceed the requirements of the energy code. And high efficiency heating and cooling. And I believe that is the extent of my testimony.
Okay. There are a couple of comments. I just want to reference the planner's report that's dated July 3rd. Respect to the rooftop mounted equipment, whether or not you could view those rooftops.
Yes, so we will be concealing the rooftop equipment with a screen. Now that we are proposing a public access deck on the roof.
And then we are asking for relief pertaining to the variance, one of which you referenced regarding the corner lot, but we are seeking 2 variances pertaining to the facade, and that's really a result more so of the garage and the existing building, the existing facade. That's the street facing and the non-street facing, and just go over again, you indicate that we are unable to comply, is that correct?
Yes, so the street facing, I believe we comply. I think it's the ground floor where we are. So here's our ground floor area. This is all parking and utilities. So if I go back to so this is the McCarter Highway elevation. So all along this side here, we have banks of utilities happening over here. And along this side, there is, it's our trash room. So we are not proposing to put any fenestration in that particular wall. We are obviously putting windows in the upper floors. But again, this area right here has our egress stair, which is not allowed to have any windows in it at all.
And all right, so we are seeking relief due to the inability to provide that transparency. One of the other comments with respect to the signage, other than the building address, we're not seeking any type of signage on the building.
That's correct.
Okay. And I know we have some renderings kind of show the type of transparency that's being, if you can identify your renderings.
So here we have our rendering showing the brick first 3 stories and then our proposed addition. I should speak to the step back requirement. I believe that is required after the 3rd floor, if I recall that correctly. So the building directly adjacent to us up Oriental, in fact, does not step back at that height or at all, for that matter. And in trying to maximize the amount of area for this project, 10 feet sort of is a bit onerous, and still have dwelling units that are occupiable.
All right, so based on the existing or adjacent property, there's no setback. We are asking for relief, not on the height. We comply with respect to the feet and the stories, but we are asking for that not stepping the building back 10 feet. Is that correct?
Correct, because we would have to step it back on both sides.
Because in the fact that it's a corner lot, there's, again, the planner will be addressing that, the inability in order to step the building back. Because of the, also due to the adaptive reuse itself. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. And then that figure, if I can just have this marked as A1, the rendering, I believe you have 4 renderings. Is that correct, Ms. Palermo?
Yes, they're variations on this.
Okay, so we'll have them marked as A1, consisting of 4 renderings. We'll discuss that. One of the comments, just highlight what type of materials that you're using. This shows the transparency even on the addition and the existing warehouse, but if you can just identify your building materials.
Certainly. So the ground floor, or the first 3 floors, will be the existing brick of the existing building, and we are proposing cement board panels on the top 2 floors.
Okay, do you want to show your the other renderings?
I think I have to stop share. So the other renderings are basically just the same shot, different times of day. And then the last, I only have 3. Where did it go? There we go. So this is the other view from coming down Oriental.
Again, there are a couple of relief that our planner will be testifying to. The civil engineer mentioned the lot coverage, the building coverage. There is a variance that we're seeking for the side yard, but that is an existing condition.
Correct.
As well, is that correct? I have nothing further.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ms. Gould, you got your hand up?
Yes, I did. Who is going to testify as to the refuse and the recycling locations?
I can do that.
Great, thank you.
Hold, please. So on our ground floor here, 1 second. We have a rather generously sized trash room that will hold, I think it's 10 containers, 5 of which will be trash, 5 of which will be recycling. And we will have a private trash collection. These will be taken out to the street as many times a week as necessary to ensure that the trash does not accumulate.
So do you have any additional? I think her hand's still raised as far as that's concerned. And also this would be a private hauler, just confirm that.
Yep.
If I may, Mr. Chairman, I just want to
Please.
follow up. So all the tenants would bring their trash recycling downstairs to this area, correct? Is that, did I hear correct? Is yes?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, okay, very good. And one other, will you be providing detail as to the screening of the rooftop equipment?
We can. I don't have the examples right now, but it would be metal, sort of a metal louver screening.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Good. Are there elevators in this building?
Yes, we have an elevator.
It's gonna go all the way up to the 5th floor?
It's going to go all the way up to the roof.
Okay. Commissioner Byers.
Yeah, Chair, thank you. At this time, really, it looks good. I like it. It's something that comes to the project right there. It needs to be clean. Remember that we have a school next to that right there on West. But at this time, Chair, I'd like to be adjourned and to forward notice to the DOT approval for the fence.
Duly noted. Mr. Beck.
Yes.
Commissioner Baez wants the applicant to adjourn it until they get approval from DEP for the fence. It's DP or DOT?
It's the DOT, correct, Marcia?
It's DOT.
Yeah, the DOT.
Is that what you're asking, Commissioner Baez?
That is correct. To be approved from DOT first. To be adjourned and to forward notice.
Chair, if I may,
Sure.
as I indicated, we do have our traffic engineer that perhaps could be addressing some of the concerns that Mr. Baez has, Commissioner Baez has, as far as maybe not needing DOT approval. but still addressing or any concerns that you may have as far as a barrier to protect any children. Obviously, the applicant is concerned, we're all concerned about the safety of the children. We do have our traffic engineer that can discuss what that proposal would be to see if that's amenable to the board.
Okay, let's get them on.
Mr. Chairman, I was gonna say, if he could focus on that issue specifically right off the get-go, so we know where we're going with this application.
Let's get them
And-
sworn in.
Yep,
Good evening.
Lee
Good evening.
Klein, Mr. Klein.
yes, good evening, Mr. Klein. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give this board shall be truthful?
I do.
Thank you. Please state your name and affiliation to this application.
My name is Lee, middle initial D as in Daniel, Klein, Klein. I'm a professional engineer in the state of New Jersey. My license is current and in good standing. I'm the traffic engineer for this application.
And you're accepted by the board. Please continue.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To focus in on the safety of the children of this building, it would be my suggestion to place, I don't know if Adnan, if you could bring up your site plan, I can't touch it, but the back of the sidewalk where the grass ends along the edge of the McCarter Highway side of the building, if we could start that fence there and wrap it around the, I'll call it, I guess it's our side yard if you're looking at the property from McCarter Highway. It's our rear yard if you're looking at it from Oriental, but go to the bottom of the screen. So, right, so that grassed area, if we put a fence on the back of the sidewalk, correct, right there, and across our property line, and then I'm not sure if we just sort of square it off against the other side of the building and just fence that area in. How would the kids get to that spot? I guess I guess I don't see an access out to that grass area. So they'd have to have a gate on the sidewalk side. Right? Because there's no pedestrian access, or is it wide enough coming from the Oriental side to go between the property line, the neighboring building, and our building?
So it's not there. I think you're up above. So it's below.
Well, I'm saying, how do you get into that? If we fenced off that area, that heavy overgrowth, limited access, that area that's going to be grass, how would somebody get in and out of that area?
So who's you said is DOT's property. So it's on them to keep the grass and things clean anyway, right?
No. DOT's property is, I guess it's the sidewalk and the part that's labeled McCarter Highway, all the way into McCarter Highway. I'm just saying, within our property line, within the rectangle or the trapezoid of our site, if we just fenced in that side yard, yeah, it looks like side setback. Yeah, if we fenced in that side yard, any kids that were playing in there would not be able to get, or their ball would not be able to get outside of that fenced in area. But I'm just not sure how you would get into that fenced in area. Would there be a door off the garage? Possibly, I'm not sure. Right, like how would you get into that area if we fenced that in? I don't know.
So that's not the area we're talking about.
No, it's not.
We talk about from
Yeah,
Makata
the wrong
Highway
area.
area of the grass right there.
You're referring to where it says the 0 yard yard setback along McCarter Highway right before the street curb?
Fence in the sidewalk?
No.
I don't know that I've ever seen anything like that, but okay.
But that's not what anybody's talking about.
So what are they talking about?
So you see what you said the trapezoid or the rectangle is that comes in McCarter Highway, right? If
You're
come
talking
down-
about the piece, okay, the triangle.
You come down Oriental, right?
I'll go the other way.
And you make a right.
Right, and you come down this little.
Here, now you're in the right area. So to the right, where there's a little island and there's a barrier that blocks off the highway. This is the area we're concerned. Yeah, down in here is what we're concerned about.
But that's happening, that would be happening today. It's not really associated with the development.
But there's nobody living there today.
There's nobody there.
There's no 5-story apartment building with people living there and kids.
Exactly.
Right,
So
but the kids in the neighborhood, I thought you were concerned with the kids in the neighborhood.
No,
There are no kids in the neighborhood either.
The kids in who would
This
be
building.
living in the building. Kids are gonna play. Now their ball
Right.
go out across the island, and what do? Run out in McCarter Highway?
And get hurt right there.
Get the
Very,
ball?
very dangerous.
So I'm saying give them a fenced in grassed area of 10.7 feet by the length or the depth or the width of our property for them to play in.
Yes, you
So
can
they
do
won't
that.
be on the sidewalk and they won't be on McCarter Highway Street and they won't go into McCarter Highway.
Can you think you can keep kids in a jail? You talking about putting them in the damn jail cell? We're not doing. That's not what we're talking about.
So they're playing in the dead end street of McCarter Highway.
Of course, that's what kids do.
Okay.
Chair, if I may, sorry.
Sure. Yes.
I would, instead of going back and forth, I think it might just be prudent for me to discuss this with our team and ask for the adjournment so we can visit and have a conversation to see what avenues we can to address it. I understand the concern, but we do have to look at it to see how do we address these comments by the board. We understand what the board's concerns are, understand what Commissioner Baez's concerns are. Certainly, we don't want anybody running on the highway to fetch a ball, but we do want to revisit this. We believe, obviously, it's our first and foremost as far as safety is concerned for us to visit it, and whether or not that's having a conversation with DOT or coming back with an alternate plan or some kind of suggestions rather than us doing a workout on the record. I'm sure you're very busy and you have another application, so I think it might just be prudent for the team to look at it and then come back to discuss those comments or suggestions.
Makes sense to me. Your traffic engineer wasn't very helpful.
No, but but before we leave, what would be the extent of that?
What I need you to do is take your attorney's suggestion, adjourn this application. You guys discuss it in private or whatever you need to do, and then come back to us.
And also, we probably want to reach out perhaps to engineering itself for any comments, maybe have a conversation with the Department
Makes
of
sense.
Engineering as well.
Yeah, I think that's the prudent thing to do, Ms. Moore. Madam Secretary, next available date, how much time you think you may need? Ms. Moore?
I'm dealing with agency, so we can agree to the September date, and if any event, if I do need an additional time, then I could speak to Madam Chair or perhaps come and just ask for that adjournment. So what is the next available date? I know there's now into the September.
Yes, September 8th.
September 8th.
Okay, that work for you? Ms. Moore?
I'm available on September 8th. If my design team could just indicate whether or not or send me a text if they're available. I have other applications that day, so I am available that day.
Yes.
Okay. And I would ask that, again, our notices be preserved without the need. I can state on the record, I've never stated I was putting up any signs. So if I just confirm that the notices are preserved and no need.
Notice will be preserved. We'll see you September 8th. Take care, guys. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
All right. Last but not least, let's get to CPB 25-16, which is 508-516 Springfield Avenue.
Good evening, board members.
Good evening.
I am looking for my other professionals. Mark Best is my architect. We can have him on, as well as Giovanni Manilio is my engineer, and John Modena is the planner. John on. Okay. Okay, I see Mr. Best as well. Can I proceed, Chair?
Floor is yours.
Sure. Good evening, board members. My name is Kiana Woolridge, and I am on application PB 25-16. I'm from the law firm of Shabazz and Woolridge. Tonight, I represent the applicant 508 Springfield LLC. The applicant is seeking preliminary and final site plan approval to construct a new four-story mixed-use building, complete with ground floor commercial and 35 residential units above ground. The zone is C2, also known as community commercial. The applicant is seeking approval of 6C variances for excessive side yard setback, insufficient rear yard setback, insufficient primary facade transparency, and insufficient on-site trees, as well as insufficient refuse screening, as well as insufficient residential interest illumination. All residents and businesses within a 200-foot radius of this project have been properly notified, as well as a notice was placed on the property as well and placed in a Star Ledger at least 10 days before this meeting. This team has met with the City of Newark's technical review team and has incorporated all recommendations and suggestions that have come from the city. We have also received reports from the Department of Engineering, Water and Sewer, as well as the city's planner. And the applicant intends to comply with all conditions of approval in the reports. Tonight, I intend to call Mark Best as the applicant's architect, Giovanni Manello as the applicant's engineer, and John McDonough as the applicant's planner.
Okay, where do you want to start?
I would like to start with the applicant's architect, Mr. Best.
Okay, let's get him sworn in, Mr. Beck.
Good evening, Mr. Best. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give this board shall be truthful? Thank you. I think you need to unmute yourself.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Okay, is this better?
Yes.
Can you hear me now? Okay,
Yes.
sorry.
Could you?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Could you please state your name and affiliation to this application?
Certainly. My name is Mark. Last name is Best, B-E-S-S. I'm the principal architect at Blackberry Studios, located at 211 Warren Street in Newark. And we are the design architects for this project.
Your license current, sir?
Yes, it is, sir.
You're accepted by the board. Please continue.
Okay,
right.
thank you very much.
All right, I'll proceed. Mr. Best, can you share your screen and walk the board through your architectural design for this project?
Yes. Is the screen visible, everybody?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so as mentioned, this project is a mixed-use multifamily building located on Springfield Avenue. The project consists of a total of 35 residential dwelling units throughout the building, with some other non-residential uses located on the ground floor of the building. I'd like to walk you through the floor plans first, then take a look at the building elevation, and then hopefully address any items or any questions that the board may have. So as you see on the screen here, here's a rendering that's on the cover page of our building. Again, main entrance, amenity spaces on the lower level with some dwelling units as well, and then dwelling units going up the building. And we'll talk more about this configuration of this elevation in a moment. So on the ground floor, and I'd like to orient everybody first. The building at the top of the page is where we have Springfield Avenue. So I'd like you to just kind of understand Springfield Avenue is running from left to right or from right to left at the top of the building. The main entry for the building is the lobby, which is located off to the side. We have the amenity spaces that are adjacent to the lobby at the far end of the building and at the opposite end of the building. So we have two amenity spaces. And then we have a mixed use kind of retail space right to the opposite side of the lobby. So the lobby is flanked by an amenity space and a retail space. Individuals will come into the building through the lobby and has access to the amenity space on the side. The amenity spaces will be a lounge and a gym area. It hasn't been determined which space will accommodate which use at this moment. That's still under consideration. Package and mailroom off the lobby, and you come over to the lobby. We have one of our egress stairs that will take you out, and then there's a pair of double doors from the lobby that take you to a central corridor, which features an elevator. This central corridor is pretty much common throughout the building. So we have our egress off on the side, and we have our egress through the front and through the side. So we have our two means of egress. Also, on the first floor, we do have some dwelling units. We have a studio, 2 one-bedroom units, and 2 three-bedroom units. And again, there's some consistency with the floor plan layout at this side of the building, which we will discuss as we move forward. I'd like to take us up then to this next floor level. Again, Springfield Avenue is running across the top of the page, and where we had amenity spaces, entries, retail and amenity spaces, now they're occupied by dwelling units. So along the top, again, a 2-bedroom unit, studio, 2-bedroom unit, 2-bedroom unit, and studio. And we have the same kind of common corridor configuration with our 2 means of egress. These units represent what we had below. We have studio, 3-bedroom unit on the ends, flanked by 2 one-bedroom units. On the roof of the building, we have located all of our HVAC condensing units. We have our stair, elevator, machine room, bulkhead. This is non-occupiable space. This is not designed for people to occupy top of the building. And we have our bulkhead. I'm sorry, this is our, my bad. This is our basement plan. This is not our bulkhead. This is our basement plan. We have a small partial basement janitor's area. We have our sprinkler utility rooms, some building storage spaces in the basement. I apologize. Here's our elevations. Front elevation, side elevation, and rear elevation. So what I like to do is to go back to the interiors and focus a little bit on the typical floor plan, so everyone has an opportunity to understand how these units are designed. So we'll take a look, for example, over here at a 2-bedroom unit. You enter the 2-bedroom unit. We have this particular 2-bedroom unit is 922 square feet. It features obviously 2 bedrooms, and in this case, there is the common bathroom, large open living space, utilities. All of the units have washer dryers that are located within the unit. There's a utility space that has the washer dryer and a hot water heater, dishwasher, and we kind of like this open plan. There's an island here in this particular 2-bedroom unit. Adjacent to that 2-bedroom unit is a studio space, and it's a studio. We actually show where you can have kind of a Murphy bed, if that's what the tenant wishes to have, but we have it built in for a Murphy bed. Open kitchen area, again, washer dryer, utility. This is a hot water heater. This is a washer dryer unit and single bathroom. Another 2-bedroom unit, different configuration, but similar in terms of its features. This one's 965 square feet. This is the smallest of the 2-bedroom units at 685 square feet. All the other ones are more in the range of 900 or so square feet. I want to show you a couple of the 1-bedrooms. All of the 1-bedrooms are generously proportioned. All of the 1-bedrooms have a similar open floor plan, but they do feature a den in each of the 1-bedrooms. So you do have this open, this could be a work at home space, etc., which adds a nice feature to all of the 1-bedroom units. And again, hot water heater, washer dryer, bathroom, closet spaces, etc. The windows are casement windows for the most part. In some cases, we do have double hung windows, which are kind of give us this facade treatment that we were discussing before, which we will discuss in a moment. I'm sorry, which I showed you before. Every floor has a trash chute, which is located at the end of the corridor. Here's the door that opens up to the trash chute. And that's common throughout the building. Let's take a look at the elevations. And as we go to the elevations, I want to stress the fact that our project will include what we commonly refer to as green building standards. This, for us, at least in our practice, is standard operating procedure for all of our projects. Low flow plumbing fixtures, LED lighting. We will have all of the interior finishes or low VOC. We will install Energy Star appliances in terms of cooking, washing appliances, high efficiency water heating devices. These are all, insulated windows, insulated, super insulated facade elements. These are just, basically are, at least from our practice, standard operating procedures for all buildings to conserve energy and to help ease the burden on the environment. I have on the screen listed the transparency calculations for each of the facades, and we are short, as our legal counsel had mentioned, and we are seeking some relief on that level. The building elements in the facade that we're using at the bottom course of the building is brick, and we have our anodized aluminum storefront glazing for the main entry, the mixed-use space, and the two amenity spaces at the end of the building. Right at the top, you'll see our light fixtures that are mounted. Our civil engineer will get into the lighting calculations and show how the lighting is organized. At the top of the first floor level, we do have some signage. We're going to have a space for some retail signage. This is building wall mounted signage for, it says retail space. We have an awning, and we do have the identifier of the building attached to the awning. Both of these signage elements are backlit, but this one here is attached to the awning. This one here is attached to the building face itself. We're proposing a gray colored brick at the base, and then moving up the building, we're using metal panels, metal composite panels, and fiber
Speak
cement.
to the material of the signing, Mr. Best. I'm sorry, before you move on.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Material of the signage?
Yes, of course. It's all of the material for the signage is aluminum. It's anodized bronze aluminum.
Thank you.
Okay, of course. Our intention is to use the fiber cement at the vertical elements that you see on the screen. These are apartment units above the entry building of the building, and over here is our stair, our egress stair. And the elements, those fiber cement elements are intended to match the brick, and then to give some contrast to the building itself, we're using metal panel, composite metal panel for the elements that appear as white on the building. Again, the windows on this elevation are all casement windows, and so that you have this kind of contrasting look, this kind of interesting image for the building facade itself. We do have a cap that denotes kind of the main entrance of the building at the top, and all of this material is metal material with the fiber cement siding right below. So this is the primary elevation in it. And as we move across the building, I'll describe the other elevations. I'd like to bring to your attention, however, I'm going to zoom in here. We do have a parapet that rises up above the top of the roof level. It's at 51 feet 5 inches, and it conceals the HVAC condensing units, which are approximately 3 feet high. This particular one is a little bit higher at 4'2". This area back here, I'm sorry, this is the entrance to the roof, but all the HVAC condensing units are below the parapet, so they're not visible from the street at all. And I just wanted to bring that to the board's attention.
And how far away are they from the roof line?
We'll go up to the roof plan and you'll be able to see that in the
Okay.
graphical details. So this is the roof plan at about 1/4 inch per foot. So we're looking at more, I'm going to say that we're at least 6 to 8 feet, if not greater, maybe 10 feet from the roof itself on any elevation, all the way around the building. And so again, these would be invisible. You wouldn't see this. You just see the edge of the parapet going around the building. You would not see any of these units from the street level. So as you turn the corner, we change our material configuration. We have the metal panels that run about 15, 20 feet or so along the side, and then we switch to composite lap siding material. We're just changing it from a panelized to a siding look, and then we are introducing double hung windows back here, this part of the building, in the back side, in the side, I should say. And again, on the opposite side, it's a similar configuration. Again, here's the cap that you see in the front, parapet wall. You don't see any HVAC units. We keep the brick wrapping around the entire building. Here's our awning that's projecting over Springfield Avenue. And then at the rear of the building, again, the brick with the lap siding and a mixture of double hung windows and casement windows.
Okay, can you speak of the bird-friendly design that was noted in the planner's report?
Certainly. Our intention with regard to the planner's report and the bird-friendly design is to use a film that you can purchase readily. It's readily available. The film goes over the glass, so as the casement windows and double hung windows are brought onto the job site, the film is placed, and the film has small little dots on it that the birds, they recognize those dots. They don't see another bird, in other words, and that encourages them to fly away. And these are all certified and are all readily available. And that's our intention with regard to the bird-friendly glazing that was brought up in the planner's report.
Okay, as far as the engineering report, can you speak to the requirement of new curbs and sidewalks required for the property frontage?
I would defer that to our civil engineer to speak on curbs and sidewalks and things of that sort, if that's okay.
Yep, that is.
Okay, so that essentially concludes my testimony.
Yep. Chair, the architect has concluded his testimony.
Yes, he has. Commissioners, any questions or comments?
Just before the commissioners ask any questions, Chair, if I may. Ms. Woolridge, if we could mark the architectural plans as Exhibit A1, because I see they did it for today.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioners, any questions or comments? Okay, the planner, Ms. Gould, she has her hand up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm not sure whether this expert is going to answer it, but is somebody going to talk about the inclusionary or the affordable housing units and how those are going to be dispersed?
The applicant can speak to that.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
No questions? Next witness.
Sure, can
Thank
I call the board's engineer? The applicant's engineer.
Yeah, you don't want to call our.
Yeah, you don't want to call.
I don't call Tiffany. Yeah, I know.
Touche.
Is he here?
I'm right here.
Oh,
There
okay.
you go.
Thank you, John.
Good evening, Mr. Manilio. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give this board shall be truthful?
I do.
Please state your name and affiliation to this application.
Sure. Legal name is Giovanni, Giovanni. Last name Manilio. Civil engineer for the project. President of Mantero Design. Professional engineer in the state of New Jersey. Licensed in good standing. Testified in front of this board numerous times.
Yep, and you're accepted by the board. Please continue.
Thank you. I'm just going to share my screen. Looks like Mark, do you mind just stop sharing?
Oh, I thought I had done that already. I apologize.
You didn't get too far. We didn't see anything.
No, I'm trying to figure out how to stop this share. Goodness. All right. Thought I had done that. Let's see, am I still sharing? How do I stop this thing?
It should be at the bottom of your screen. Let's just say, it's the green stop share button.
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry, folks. I apologize. Let's say stop share. It says share.
All right.
Second.
Is that better? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry for the delay.
Yeah, no problem.
Mr. Giovanni, can you provide a description of the current site?
Sure. So just let me know if everybody can see my screen.
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to present two exhibits. The first one's entitled 508-516 Springfield Avenue Aerial Exhibit. It's an aerial of the general vicinity with the site highlighted in yellow in the middle. All right, so the property is known as 508-516 Springfield, Block 307, lots 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, consisting of 5 lots currently. All the lots are between 2,300 and 2,600 square feet, and the total lot area is 12,105 square feet, or 0.278 acres. Currently, the lot is vacant. There is an existing chain link fence that goes along Springfield Avenue along the sidewalk line. And then there's a pile of soil in the rear of the property. I also want to note that there is a utility pole and overhead wires that passes along the rear portion of the property. That's not proposed not to be removed as part of this application. It's not in the way of the proposed development. But Mr. Trafficante did make a note that there's no easements in place. And as far as we know, there are no easements. We'll look into it. If there's no easements, we'll work with the utility companies and the neighbors to see if those utility lines could be relocated. And if not, then obviously we would have to provide some type of easements if they are required. Additionally, I did review historic aerials. It looks like the site was developed years ago, but was demolished sometime in the early 2000s, between 2002 and 2006. As far as uses in the general vicinity, to the west and to the east are both mixed-use facilities. To the north, we do have a church and a commercial property, and to the north as well, there's residential. To the south, there is a bank, and along the corner of Springfield and South 10th, there was another application that was previously approved as well for a mixed-use facility. Property's not in a flood zone, and there's no other environmental constraints that are known on the site. I'm going to go to my second exhibit, which is a colored site rendering titled 508-516 Springfield Avenue with today's date. It's a color rendition of the site plan. So shown on the screen, the brown is what's being proposed, which is a 4-story mixed-use building with 1,005 square foot of retail space on the first floor, kind of centered in the building. As the architect had mentioned, the first floor also has amenity space, apartment units on the first floor, a trash room, and mail room as well. Along both sides of the building, we are proposing sidewalks for egress and to get to the rear of the property. In the rear, we are proposing a refuse area. What was shown on the submitted plans were that we would enclose the refuse area on 3 sides and not the front. That's something that we have decided to comply with. So we will provide screening and gates on the front to screen the front of the refuge area, thus eliminating that request for a variance. Additionally, we are proposing in the rear, tucked in the building, 10 micro mobility or bike parking spaces, which complies with the requirements for the ordinance. As alluded to earlier, we are replacing all the curbing and sidewalks along Springfield Avenue. And just going back to the refuse area is located back here. All trash will be brought out to the curb by property maintenance on pickup days and brought back in as well. And refuse and recycling will be picked up by a private hauler. As far as landscaping, we are proposing 4 shade trees along Springfield Avenue where 3 are required. So we're providing 1 extra than is what is required. As far as on-site trees, the application or the submission that we submitted, we didn't show any on-site trees because there is a large detention system in this back lawn area. But looking at it, and when I was putting this rendering together, there is an area here between the building and the sidewalk. So we are proposing, we could fit 2 trees in there. If we could fit 3, we'll try to fit 3 trees. But we are still asking for relief on the on-site trees, and we'll work with the city arborist to see if there's any other places that we can plant trees. Additionally, like I said, we are planting 1 extra shade tree along Springfield Avenue. Also shown on the plans that were submitted was fencing along the side and rear yards, but we didn't call out what type of fencing, and that will be some type of black ornamental metal fencing, consistent and compliant with the town or city's ordinance. As far as site lighting consists of building mounted lights. For the most part, we comply with all the requirements for lighting, as noted, I believe, both in the planner and engineer's letter. There was some deficiencies on the west side egress. We were below the required minimum foot candles for those egress, and we'll revise the plans to comply. So we're going to eliminate the request for any lighting variances. As far as zoning conformance and variances that are being requested, we are in the C2 zone, so a 0-foot minimum and maximum side yard setback is required, where we're proposing a 3-foot setback on the east side and a 3.7-foot setback on the west side. Again, that's to provide emergency egress out of the egress doors and to provide access to the rear for the refuse and micro mobility spaces as well. Additionally, a 20-foot rear yard setback is required along the rear. We're providing at the smallest point 15.3 feet. But as you can see here, this line here represents the rear yard setback. A majority of the building is outside of the rear yard setback, with the exception of these 2 small little jog outs of the building, which do go into that setback. And lastly, as testified by the architect, the last variance that is being requested is building transparency, has been testified to. And I do want to note that we did eliminate the variances for refuse, screening, and illumination. And that concludes my testimony. And as far as Mr. Trafficante's letter, I did have a chance to speak with Mr. Trafficante earlier today, and we have no issues with his letter, and we will comply with all his comments.
There are a couple of items in the engineering report that I just want to bring to your attention. Can you provide testimony on the type of tree species that will be on site?
Yes. On site, I don't know if we picked the trees on
I
site.
mean,
Just put those
not
on
on
there.
site, but in the project, yeah.
Yeah, so just give me 1 second. I have to look at the varieties. So we're providing a green spire linden and a northern red oak.
All right, thank you. Also, can you go over the grading plan and the proposed site runoffs as well?
Yeah, so there is a proposed underground detention system in the rear yard. This is considered a major development per the city ordinance. So we are not only detaining, but we are reducing the flows coming off the site per the current state regulations. So that includes the current precipitation and future precipitations. And I believe Mr. Shockery had no comments regarding stormwater, if I recall. He said it was acceptable and that see here. that the contractor should contact the city prior to construction. So I believe we comply with the stormwater requirements.
And also, can you provide testimony regarding the illumination light plan along the pedestrian walkway?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're referring to the right of way. So we do comply with all the lighting requirements. The lighting is shown on our plans. The only area where it wasn't compliant was in the area by the trash room and the egress to the west. We're at 0.7 foot candles minimum, where 1 foot candle is required. So we
Okay.
agreed to comply with that requirement.
Comply with that as well. I think that was all my questions.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Traficante.
Chair, before he goes, if we could just make the record clear, because I know he has a few questions. Just Exhibit A2 is the aerial exhibit and Exhibit A3 is the site rendering?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Traficante. You're still on oath, sir. Floor is yours.
Okay, I don't need to be sworn in again?
No.
Okay. Mr. Manilio, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah. In the engineer's report to the planning board, I believe under lighting, there was a section. Yeah. Yeah. So, item 8, lighting plan, Roman numeral 3. The lighting plan shows 4 type A wall-mounted light fixtures to be mounted on the east side and at the southeast corner and outside wall of the proposed building, 10 feet above finished grade, but indicates a light intensity of 0.0 foot candles between the east wall of the proposed building and a proposed fence that is located 2.5 to 3 feet to the east. Applicant shall rectify and provide the missing proposed spotlight intensities and foot candles along
Yeah,
the
Mr.
pedestrian walkway.
Yeah, Mr. Traficante, yeah, so I mean, it's hard to see on the plan because it's so small, but when you zoom in, that 0 is measured inside the building. That's why it's 0. So the actual foot candle measurements at the property line are where those crosses are.
So that satisfies the lighting for the pedestrian walkway.
Yeah, we could give you another level right here at the wall.
Yeah,
that's not a problem. But the reason it shows 0 is because that's inside the building. It's just the way that the grid is laid out.
All right, it wasn't clear to us. That's why.
Yeah, it's just hard to see on the paper print.
All right, and then the last 2 questions. Okay, page 3, item 5, site layout plan. Revise the plan to show the proposed location and dimensions of the recycled materials collection area in accordance with section 4116.712 through section 4116-7-17 of the city code for the residential units. If contained in the refuse collection disposal area, the applicant shall provide testimony during the hearing. Is that the case? Is recyclable materials going in the back with the refuse?
Yep. So both recycling and refuse will be in there in separate containers, and we can show that on the revised plans.
And what about for the commercial space? Is that also where you're going to keep the recycling and refuse?
That is correct. Yeah. So all recycling and refuse will be in that area.
All right. All right. Otherwise, you can comply with all the other comments in the Department of Engineering's report to the Planning Board dated July 16th.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. No further questions.
Thank you, Mr. Traficante. Board, any questions or comments?
Yeah, Chair.
Commissioner James.
Mr. Manillo, in regards to the proposed trees, how many on-site trees are deficient?
So with the plan that we're showing right now, we're deficient 3 on-site trees.
Okay, so the requirement is 5?
5, correct.
Okay. And that's a definite 2 trees on site.
Definitely 2. We'll try to get 3. And like I said before, we are adding 1 additional shade tree than is required on the frontage.
Gotcha.
If we could add more, we would definitely add it, but so you can see it's probably not on that plan, but on our plan, you can see this is the underground system right there. So that lawn area, it'd be almost impossible to plant a tree on there.
So there's 4 on the Springfield Avenue corridor.
Correct. Yes.
Yes, sir. Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Commissioners, any other questions or comments? Hearing none. Next witness.
I would like to now call our planner, Mr. John McDonough.
I'm over here, Mr. Becht.
I can see you. Thank you. Good evening, Mr. McDonough. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give this board shall be truthful?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name and affiliation with this application.
Sure. Hi there, everyone. My name is John McDonough. That's spelled MC, capital DONOUGH, and my affiliation is Project Planner.
And your license is current, sir?
It is, Mr. Chairman.
And then tell us how great this project is.
Here we go. Kiana, you want me to take it away or follow your
Can you
lead?
provide testimony to the board addressing the conditions of the variance and demonstrate the justification for the board to grant the requested relief?
Sure thing. So we're looking at a development that comprises 5 lots here in the heart of Springfield Avenue, vacant lots which are not doing anything to contribute to the well-being of the area or the city at large. We have an applicant here that is ready, willing, and able to revitalize and repurpose this underutilized land. Again, prime land along the Springfield Avenue corridor, which is right in line with the essence of the C2 community commercial zone. To have active corridors, and you picked your primary corridors in your master plan and your zoning ordinance. This is one of them. The applicant is respecting your ordinance in terms of the C2 and the higher tiers of zoning. In particular, the use complies, the density complies, the overall height complies, the overall coverage complies, and of course, being here in the C2, we've got parking compliant as well. There's no requirement. The relief, relatively minor. You've heard about the setbacks, that we're actually providing generous setbacks on the sides. We're providing deficient setbacks in the rear. We're short by 5 feet, but because of those jogs that you saw in the building, portions of the building jet into the rear yard. There is a grade change there, so the offset from the horizontal deficiency is mitigated by the vertical separation between these 5 lots and the lots that are behind it. You heard the testimony of the witnesses before me, in particular Mark Bess. He's always an easy act to follow because he does such beautiful architecture here for the city, and our applicant as well. This is a site that is certainly going to add value and quality to the rest of the area with, again, a building that has beautifully respected your ordinance. This application on balancing will satisfy the C2 test, where the benefits of the application as a whole substantially outweigh the detriments. On the positive side here, we advanced the general welfare with new housing stock to replenish the older housing stock here in the community. We've got Purpose M, which is our planning goal for efficient use of land, taking underutilized land, repurposing it, and putting it back to active use. We've got Purpose I, the promotion of a desirable visual environment. We'll let those visuals speak for themselves. And Purpose G, the provision for a variety of uses in appropriate locations according to the needs of all New Jersey citizens, with a nice diversified mix of unit types here. So it all comes together as one beautiful project. We look at the application as a whole. All of those substantial public benefits easily outweigh the relatively minor relief. As always, Ms. Gruhl has given the board a good little punch list of the relief that the applicant is seeking. Again, you can see relatively minor with respect to setbacks, the transparency. Mr. Manilio addressed the trees for me. So I think all of the relief here, reasonable, appropriate, and certainly meets the statutory criteria for approval. And therefore, Mr. Chairman, my conclusion is approval is warranted here. That's all I have on direct.
Thank you, sir. Commissioners, questions or comments?
Yeah, Chair.
Mr. James.
Mr. McDonough, are these all market rate units, or what's the breakdown of, do you know that, or counsel?
I can have
go
the
ahead.
applicant speak to that.
Thank you, counsel.
You're welcome.
Any other questions or comments? So the applicant is available?
Yes, the applicant is available.
Let's get the applicant on and sworn in, Mr. Beck.
Is he on?
Just for the record, Ms. Woolridge, the planning exhibit is exhibit A4.
A4, yes.
And Mr. Morris is joining us now. There we go.
Yes.
Right.
Good evening. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give this board shall be truthful?
Yes.
Thank you. Please state your name and address and affiliation for the record.
My name's Sari Morris. I live at 136 Tiffany Boulevard, Newark, New Jersey, apartment 335. And what was the other thing you said? I'm sorry.
Your affiliation to this application.
Okay, yeah. I'm the applicant, the owner of the property.
Got it. Thank you, counsel.
Sure. Just had a couple of questions for you, Mr. Morris. The first question was from the planner. Does this project meet Newark's inclusionary zoning ordinance?
Yes, it exceeds it. We're required to have 7. We're providing 12, so the project is 34% affordable.
Perfect. And if you know the breakdown, can you explain the breakdown between market versus affordable units?
We have 12 affordable units and 23 market rate units. In terms of what units will be affordable and market rate, there will be a mix of 1, 2s, and 3 unit apartments that will be affordable, and the same for the and studios as well, and the same for market rate.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other questions for the applicant?
Commissioners, any other questions or comments? Ms. Gruhl has her hand up. You're still on the oath, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to confirm that you will comply with the standard breakdown for the bedroom mix for the affordable units.
Yes, we will comply.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Commissioners, any other questions or comments? Hearing none. Does that complete your presentation? Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Jordan?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Does that complete your presentation?
Yes, I reserve the right if there are any additional comments from the public to address those comments at that time.
Sure. Madam Secretary, anybody from the public wishing to speak?
Yes. One. Rashida, if you could come off of me and turn your camera on to be sworn in. It's Rashida Huston. You could come off of mute and turn your camera on so you can be sworn in. That's the only one, Chair.
Is there anyone else?
Seeing none at this time.
In that case, I need a motion.
Motion to move it.
Move it by Commissioner Purdy.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Austin. Roll call, Madam Secretary.
Commissioner Byers?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes.
Commissioner Purdy?
Yes.
She's not on. Commissioner James?
Yes.
Commissioner Austin?
Yes.
Co-Chair Witcher?
Yes.
Chair Richardson?
Yes, your application has been approved. Good luck.
Thank you.
Let's move to, that concludes the business in terms of applications for this evening. We do have some minutes from June 9th, 23rd, and June 30th. Does anyone have an opportunity to review the minutes? Any questions, comments, or corrections? Hearing none. Need a motion.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Moved by Chair Witcher, second by Commissioner Baez. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, so moved. Mr. Beck, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have a number of resolutions to be memorialized this evening. First up is CPB 25-10. Second is CPB 22-121. Next up is 2238. CPB 24-82, CPB 25-29, CPB 25-46, CPB 25-31, CPB 25-32, and lastly, CPB 25-23. All those commissioners that voted affirmatively are permitted to memorialize same. Anybody has any objections, just put them on the record as we speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Beck. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. And our next meeting will be August 4th. Stay safe out there, everyone. See you then.
I hope to see
Night.
everybody at the Lincoln Park Music Festival this weekend.
With bells on our ankles.
Just don't park in my driveway.
Oh, we're gonna block that thing off, right? You should have never said that. You're never gonna get out.
All right.
Call
Good
it
night.